Good morning. Hi. Hello. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna cry. I just am. That track has to change. That track is unacceptable. That is the exact track Hurricane Fran took in 1996 that caused us heartache and a week without power. That is unacceptable. That will have to change between now and Thursday night. So that weather girl, she said...
yeah, I'm a fan of Kat Campbell.
Yeah, she's brand new to WRAL. And Dawn thought she did an excellent an efficient job of covering the weather this morning.
Yeah, the new hot weather girl, that's right. She's definitely predicting hot weather.
Come on, Donnie. It's all right. But anyway, she said if it hits as a Category 4, it will be the first Cat 4 to hit North Carolina. I guess before Fran came on shore, she was not a Cat 4 anymore.
Right, she did.
Technically, she had moved down to a 3, and then Hugo, which was a Cat 4, it hit Charleston, and then came up, barreling up through Charlotte. So, and I don't remember about Floyd, and which caused the state horrible flooding and pain for those people down east, and a few of the other storms. You know, it's really... The wind is a little bit of the problem, and the rain is a lot of the problem.
Right. Yeah, we don't want any more. We don't want any rain at all between now and Friday. We want the things to dry out because what really causes a lot of, well, trees come over because trees come over, but if the ground's already really wet, and then it gets wet from the bands before the really heavy winds get here, and then the heavy winds get here, the trees, they just come over.
The root balls come up is what happens. You know, there's always going to be limbs breaking off and falling to the ground and a couple of trees, but in North Carolina, these tall oak trees, they just do this, and then you got this huge root ball up out of the ground. So you don't want the ground to be wet.
Yeah, I quit counting down trees here. I was here during Fran, and I stopped counting at 17. This place was, there were trees everywhere. Luckily, only one tree damaged a gutter on the house. And during Fran, it fell and brushed the gutter. But other than that, everything, nothing hit the house. But a neighbor came and chainsawed my driveway. I was actually in Hawaii.
Yeah, we were not happy with him at IBM because, well, we were on call for Sev 1 emergencies, and it doesn't matter if there's a storm in North Carolina because then people in California ain't got no hurricane. Now they try to redirect calls to different call centers for level 1 and some level 2 stuff, but if a customer's got a serious problem, then they still, for our product, they still need to get through to the people in Raleigh. And this one, he was gone.
I was gone.
And I was responsible, and I wasn't too happy about it. JB doesn't need you, and you are not allowed to leave between now and when Florence comes.
You know, I think I need to go visit my sister.
Oh, and yeah, exactly. No, you may not leave. That would just be jinxing me even more, and that's not the appropriate time to visit family.
Well, I thought we got Sapphire so I could go places.
We did, but not this week. Come on, guys, let's go. Oh my goodness, here comes Tux, and he is at a full gallop. Hey, buddy. Well, maybe not all the way to the top, but it was close. Come on, Slate, let him pass. She just wants to play. Come on, Tuxie. Come on, that's a good boy. Well, I stay pretty well prepared here. I have a sheet with batteries and other supplies that we keep just on hand for hurricanes, because after going through Hugo a long time ago in the 80s and then Fran in 96, I don't get caught unprepared. But I may still be picking up a few things at the store today. So Dawn and I plugged Sapphire in last night to charge just to see. She only needed to put on 3 or 4 miles to be back up to 80%. Dawn is unplugging her now because obviously she completed that cycle even at 110 in less than an hour, I think. And we're just curious after the charge cycle, which admittedly wasn't a long one, if the error message persists.
Well, the screen came on. Yeah, it still has 12-volt battery needs service. Replace 12-volt battery soon.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if all that was wrong was a 12-volt battery?
Yeah, well, interesting.
Would that not be nice if that's all that was wrong?
It says 12-volt battery needs service. Replace 12-volt battery soon.
That would thrill me if they had just put a bad 12-volt battery in the car. And that was really what the problem was. That would be so simple to fix.
Yeah, that's all it says.
Okay. So Don's calling Tesla to give him an update. So I got into Ruby and she did not convert to the Marianne profile. Most likely this is because my key fob is just buried too far in my purse. Yet she did open the door for me. Well, there's my key fob and it still is in the Dawn profile, so I'll manually move it to Marianne. It's not the first time she's missed, but it does surprise me when she misses. And Don's gone in the house now, but I'll double check I don't see his key fob lying around in here when I get out in the sunlight where I can really see. Well, I sure don't see Don's key fob in the car, and I messaged him inside because I don't want to walk back inside, and asked him to confirm that it's in there. Could that be a new drive with the pin issue? I don't know. I'm not saying that it is. It's just the only thing that's different from other times. Although I said it is not the absolute first time it's done that. I would need it to fail repeatedly before I would jump to any conclusions. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. I'm just noting that it didn't change over to me. When Don pulls the car out of the garage for me in the morning, he always brings my purse, therefore my fob, out with him. He does not change it to, he does not carry his fob. He does not move the seats around. He doesn't want to, I guess, wear out the seats, and he can get in and move it and be okay for a few minutes with it at my position. So we're not testing it every morning because we're not switching back and forth in the morning. He confirmed his key fob is in the house. So the latest update I saw showed us getting 100-mile-per-hour winds here in Raleigh. And that's pretty serious. Considering all the trees you see in all the videos, that's pretty serious. I don't know how much rain we would get with this storm. A typical hurricane here is 9 to 12 inches. We can certainly handle that at our house and that not be a problem, although that will cause lots of problems in the area. But yeah, 100-mile-an-hour winds means for sure trees down, therefore power out. It's just a foregone conclusion. So we're pretty prepared. We got a lot of things going for us here at the house. You know, Don and I are older, so we've acquired stuff. We're savvy because we've been through hurricanes before. You know, the government, media outlets, books, they all give lots of insight into how to be prepared. And even if I couldn't buy one more thing at the store, we'd be okay. We would. But I am headed up to Walmart to try to get a few things, with the thought in mind that even if they don't have them today, they have time to bring more trucks in. They'll divert supplies to North Carolina. They've done that in the past. South Carolina too, I'm sure. Virginia, if the rain is headed that way afterward. So I'm not going to panic if I can't get what I want. But I am going to go look for a few things today. And then if I don't get what I need today, and probably regardless, because I'll think of something else, I'll probably be stopping in, doing my morning walk, and picking up a few more supplies. Don and I were also talking about not buying a lot of stuff at our normal grocery store run this week because running the generator to power the freezer is a big deal. If we can eat a lot of stuff out of the freezer, move stuff into the house from the freezer in the garage, we don't have like a quarter cow right now or anything out there. So we're not in too bad a shape, but we probably won't be buying a lot of fresh groceries this week because of the you know, necessity to keep stuff cold. We can, but it's a lot of gas, it's a lot of maintenance to keep the generator running, and it'd just be easier if we don't have to worry about it as much. Driving through town, I was trying to soak up all the pretty crepe myrtles in bloom and the hanging baskets and the trees and the yard art that people have out, and just soak it all in. The flags that are up on the poles, you know how pretty my town is, how wonderful Fuquay keeps it up. emergency vehicle coming past on my left. Yeah, just trying to soak it all in because trees down, it'll look a little different afterward. Can you tell I'm nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm thinking it's already not a good sign that I can't make the left turn into Walmart, that we're backed up this much. I know there's construction over here and stuff, but that's not what's causing it. I'm a little scared to go around the corner and see how many people not working today might be at Walmart. In which case, I can just come back Monday or Tuesday morning when they're still bound to have gotten in supplies, but other people are working. Here comes the fire runner. There goes the fire runner. That's the name of our Fuquay Station #1 fire truck. Walmart is packed. You would think it was Black Friday. And I've been up here on Black Friday, so I know. I mean, it's generally crowded on Sundays after church lets out, but it's particularly crowded today. Thankfully, my Ruby parking spot up here doesn't have anybody in it. I'm going in anyway. I could make it easier on myself and go tomorrow, but I'm going in anyway. See, all the buses are church groups and whatever that come to Walmart to shop after church. Or folks that don't have driver's licenses and they, you know, catch a ride with their local group. Gas tanks, bottles of propane, soda, that's because that's what you need, and water. Yeah, I would have bet that there wouldn't be a lot of water left already. And like I bet there'll be more water coming in. The tarp is just in case, because if I have one to cover up any potential roof damage, then we won't need it. There's canned cat food and dry cat food. Granola bars, because they're really easy to just pop one and not have to cook anything. We never use paper towels, but paper towels because if you can't wash for a week, you don't want to be having dirty real towels. And Ziploc bags in case you need to protect anything from water. They've got 10 or 12 lanes open, so that's good. And they found some water, and some nice guys loaded it up on the very bottom for me. I didn't have to work hard at all to get all that stuff in there. Loaded up just nice. You can see I popped open these carriers that I have down below typically, because I didn't want the glass and the groceries to roll around. As I went past a couple of gas stations, I noticed a lot of people with red plastic containers picking up gasoline for generators. When I come back out later tonight, there's a EX raid battle at South Park. I'm gonna drive the van, and I'm going to fill up the van, make sure it's got a full tank of gas. It's not easy to pull at all in any way, shape, or form gas out of late model passenger vehicles. There's all kind of safety stuff in there, but should we need to move it, should we need to load up stuff and carry it someplace, you know, it'd just be good to have it full of gas, because right after the storm, you may not be able to pump at all stations, and certainly they may not be able to get gas in. They're not allowed to raise the price on the gas they already have, but it takes the state a long time to prosecute people that break that law, even if they can prove it. And certainly gas that comes in later, the price could be affected, could be higher. So yeah, we'd just be filling up the gas tank. And for people like me that virtually have absolutely no cash in their wallet and just a good working card or two, make sure to take out a little bit of cash. If you have to have somebody help you pull a tree off your house, you go to buy a bag of ice someplace. Usually people after storms, they want cash. Called for help. There's a lot of heavy stuff in the back today. That's right, exactly. We shut the door when I came in. There be stuff. Oh, you poor thing.
That's all right.
Oh.
I don't use that for anything.
Oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry.
That's the least important part.
Oh, no, it's not. I'm so sorry.
Goodness gracious, she's
He's trying to tell me he might like to come in for some extra attention. Oh, I have given him a really good brush down. He seems very pleased. He's purring for me. He's a good boy. When you want your attentions, you want your attentions, right, buddy? So Johnny's home. I'm thrilled to see him. And of course, the first thing he started asking is, what are we doing to prepare for Florence? That really was the first thing. And so I think Don and I have reassured him a lot. And I said, hey, we're going to take the van to go put gas in it and do the EX raid at South Park. And I left the house and I'm walking out and he comes out behind me. Mom, I got your keys because I think you need these in order to drive the van. Yes, I do. And Johnny's getting tucked to a safe spot for me. This is the group of wonderful people we went in with. Most of us are catching him.
All right, bye.
Hi, good to see you.
See you guys.
Hi, Alicia. All right, here goes nothing. See if I remember how to do this. I have about a half tank, which would be about 10 gallons. So I guess I'm going to be putting in about 8-ish. 9-ish, something like that. And yeah, gas here is $2.63.9. I probably could have gotten it a little cheaper someplace else. Okay, 10.5 for 7 gallons at $21.83. So this is why we are prepping Friday at 2 p.m. 70-mile-per-hour winds. And yeah, that's going to barrel right on up I-40. The last time Hurricane Fran did that in 96, that was really bad news for us. And oh, by the way, if it shifts a little north, we'll still be on the left side of the storm, and the left side of the storm is the worst side of the storm. So as far as tornadoes being spawned off it and other things, that won't really be any better. It'd have to go much farther south for it to lessen the impact in Raleigh. Like Charleston, South Carolina, usually ends up impacting Charlotte instead of Raleigh. So that was Hugo back in the 80s. We'll just have to keep a close eye on it.
So earlier today I came out to the Model 3 and it said the 12 volt battery was dead. Excuse me, the 12 volt battery needed service. It was on the charger and had...
Overnight, the 110, yep.
Right, was on the charger. So it realistically, the only way the 12 volt battery could have a problem is that the DC to DC converter in the Model 3 was not keeping the 12 volt battery charged. And that DC to DC converter could certainly set a type of error where high voltage can't be maintained or something like that was the original message.
Yeah.
So it has moved from, the root problem is the DC to DC gave the voltage was unstable, but really the end result of that is it can't charge the 12 volt battery. Well, the Model 3, if the 12 volt battery goes dead, it's dead. You can't put it in tow mode ahead of time like you can a Model S or Model X, because after 20 minutes it puts the parking brake back on.
And you saw that message on the screen when you tried to put it in tow mode, because you were going to block the tires. We're on a flat surface here.
Right, I was going to put it in tow mode because I'm basically anticipating by tomorrow morning the 12 volt battery will be completely unable to power the car. But that didn't work because I can't put it in tow mode. It will only last for 20 minutes. So I went online and I found the excerpt from the manual where it shows how to hook up a 12 volt power supply to your Model 3. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to hook up my little battery charger to trickle charge the 12 volt battery overnight so it won't go dead. It won't probably be enough to build it back up, but then because
you just need it long enough to put it in tow mode in the morning.
The bad thing is if the 12 volt battery goes dead, you can't get into the car. The key card won't work.
The window's down.
The window's down, that's right.
You can't unplug it from the charger.
You can't unplug it from the charger. So there's a lot of reasons why you don't want your 12 volt battery. I mean, you don't want it on the S or X to go dead either, but the Model 3 is really bad news when it's dead. So I'm going to try this. So it said to basically pop this cover off. I'm popping the cover off. And lo and behold, right there is the 12-volt battery, just like the book said. And you know, I guess I could technically check it's got the red cables on this side and the black cables over here, and it said, you know, just be, you know, like really careful not to hook it up backwards. It says, and don't touch anything metal. So I'm just popping this little cover off so I can get to the battery a little bit.
I've had an experience one time in my life where I caused a battery cable charging connection to spark. Yeah. And that is a problem I would never like to repeat, just saying.
Yeah, so we're going to check the battery voltage real quick.
Don says he's going to check the voltage if you didn't hear him before he plugs anything up to it, just to see what it's reading right now.
Yeah, just see just how low it is.
So what is that little tool that you have?
It's just a little digital voltometer.
Yeah, Don's got all kinds of meters.
Just a little handy one. Oh, here, let me turn it where when you see it, it'll be right side up, I guess. I'm trying to see how I'll hold it. Oh, I hit the wrong button here. That's AC, that's DC. Alright, so hopefully... Oh, I would say it's doing great. 13.87 volts. It's so my hypothesis that the 12-volt battery is going to be dead is totally bogus. That 13.87 volts is plenty. That means it's being charged. Normal lead acid battery at rest with no load is it's 1.2 volts per cell times 6, 13.2 volts, I think. So the fact that it's 13.8 means the DC to DC converter must be
charging it anyway, despite it saying there was an error.
That's right. So at this point, I'm just going to button everything back up. I'm confident now that
there will be some charge left in the morning.
There'll be some charge left in it in the morning.
Okay. I'm just coming over here at a better angle so you can see what it looks like underneath there in case, you know, you own a 3 and haven't had a reason to pull off the cover. You don't have to. You can just see what this looks like. Or, you know, if you do have a reason to pull it off, you've seen Don pull it off, so it's not...
Yeah, it's just snaps.
It was easy. I think I could pull it off.
All right.